And welcome back to the Nova Project. It's the last week of spooky season, so it's... I'm very sorry, we had a very random context image just come up on my Facebook feed. Anyway, I do apologise. It's the run-up for spooky season.
There's no point in giving me an intro because you all know I'm fucking here anyway.
She's here, as always. But I like to credit where credit is due. We are joined, as ever, by the Obsidian Nook / Petal ASMR, all that stuff. Also my wife, who may or may not be barely being picked up by the mic because of how we are orientated, I guess is the word at the minute. Obviously, we thought we would cap the week off of spooky season. It's a weird week because it's currently Monday and we'll get this up tomorrow. And obviously Halloween is this Thursday, so you've got 3 videos coming out over the next 3 days, and we're going to keep going and get some more done for the next couple of weeks, that sort of thing. Anyway, we're kicking it off with our oldest film on the channel to date, from
Neither of us were born, but I was born in 1996, so that makes me feel a lot better about this film.
I don't know how that makes a difference.
I feel like I existed.
How old are you right now? 28.
I don't know, 28 or 29.
This film is twice your age. You could have been born twice in the time this film has been out.
I probably have, and I've been reincarnated twice, and both of my lives have been shit. There we go.
Must have been if you only lived to 28 in your previous life. It means you got to beat your record.
At least I wasn't part of the 27 club, sorry.
True. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the 27 Club and that depressing mix. We're talking about the 1968 classic, Night of the Living Dead. What I like to call the original zombie movie, but technically it isn't. This is the first mainline zombie film, to say the least. Directed, of course, by George A. Romero, who did all of the Dead films, Dawn of the Dead, not Army of the Dead, that was Zack Snyder. Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead. If you've heard of any film called Of the Living Dead, or Of the Dead, or you've played Black Ops 1 with Call of the Dead, you will know who George Romero is. Anyway, the film is old. Probably. We won't address it, but if you heard it, if you know, you know. Yep, she sang the song and it didn't pick up. Good, because we'll get claimed. Anyway, so we are talking about the black and white version, I want to add. Not our first black and white film. We, of course, covered Werewolf by Night last year, I think it is, because, Jesus Christ, it was that long ago. So yeah, as I mentioned, this is the bringing zombies into mainline cinema. So the rules aren't entirely fleshed out, as I like to explain to you. Bites seem to still kill people, but they can also just die from many other means and come back. Sometimes, not all the time. The headshot thing still works. It's it's most of the classic rules you're aware of, except with a little bit of experimental sort of things, like the fear of fire, like Frankenstein and that sort of thing. But because it's the 60s, it's on a first off, it's on a low budget. But it's the 60s. This isn't where gore was fucking everywhere. Considering it's a zombie film, and other than the fact it's in black and white, it's not a bloody film.
Had a few bits of blood, but nothing terrible.
Nothing you've come to expect from horror films. Like, good God, we can blame Saw.
I would say it's minor horror, so again, if you don't like horror or guts or gore, then you'll definitely be alright with this one.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
It's funny.
Plus it's funny because it's the 60s where everything was made to be extremely dramatic. Oh, sorry, she's showing me a cat picture. Our cat, who is usually with us, is asleep on the chair. His ears pricked when I said that. But anyway, so yeah, there's some interesting moments throughout the film. The kills are not too bad, I want to say. There's a couple of worthy ones, but other than that, they are mostly just like gunshots.
I hate the fact that I actually predicted 2 of the things, didn't I?
You predicted the ending, which you've probably seen.
The girl.
Oh yeah, the little girl was obvious. But you think back in the day when this was like a trope that everyone's not used to, such as like, well, it's unpredictable, but now everyone knows, oh, the zombie, like the girl who's like got an injury or whatever is going to turn into a zombie. That sort of thing. Now it's a bit more predictable, but back in the day, this was the world's first real awakening to the zombie genre, if you wish. But yeah, the kills mostly are a bit silly. Mostly gunshot kills. There's the famous Johnny from the opening who cracks his head on a fucking grave, and that's enough to kill him. The zombies are also quite intelligent as well. They can pick up rocks and particularly trowels for a later kill.
Are they intelligent of the Walking Dead one?
The later Walking Dead ones.
Yeah, when they're like...
Or the first season Walking Dead ones. Variants for the Walking Dead is what it's called.
But it just made me laugh how they like moved around.
Yeah, it was.
They didn't have CGI back then.
If they did, it was extremely limited. Yeah, they blew up an actual truck for a kill.
And you said the house was going to be...
The house was going to be condemned anyway, so which is why they were allowed to just go ham and smash it to pieces. But yeah, I think the performances are mostly good. It's just the actress who plays Barbara. It's just a bit like hamming it in a bit. I mean, she's losing... As I said to you at one point, she's either doing a really good job at being traumatized or doing a really shit job at acting. Because for the most part, most of the film, she's just sat there, like, sobbing.
Do you know
or just being useless. And poor old Ben is just left to do all the hard work.
What pissed me off more is do all of that to, like, survive, and then they all dead.
Yes. Through a variety of methods, either from idiocy or just like unintentional racist undertones.
I think I'll my favourite doing the truck.
I was gonna say that. We will go into some more details of that at the end, which probably won't be far off because I don't really know what else I can say. We're not gonna go into We're not going to go into like an in-depth dive of this film. We thought it would just be spooky week, so we would talk about the silly bits and bobs of the film. Though there was a fully naked zombie at one point. Like it just appears for whatever reason, which was surprising. There's a lot of zombies were sort of cheesing the camera a little bit, but it's the 60s, so you can forgive them. There were some good fire stunts. Like I said to you, this was the 60s. A couple of like people actually got set on fire for some scenes. God knows how they like did that with limited technology. What, 56 years ago? Which is crazy. But yeah. I don't know how much I can really talk out of this film as it's been done to death. Oh yeah, they fucked the copyright up, which made it go into public domain. Which is why it's used in a lot of films, because of how classic it is.
Oh, little freebie. Don't want to pay for it or rent it. If you go on Wikipedia, they've put the whole film on the actual Wikipedia page.
Because they're allowed to, because it's in public domain by accident.
I just thought in case if people want to see it, but they don't want to pay for it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's out there. It's not illegal to watch for free because it's accidental public domain now. Unlike movies like Blood and Honey, which we have yet to cover. Apparently, the second one's a lot better than the first because they actually had a budget.
There's a Mickey Mouse one as well.
And apparently that fucking sucks. Not necessarily Mickey Mouse, this is Steamboat Willie before he became Mickey Mouse, so it's the character of Steamboat Willie as opposed to Mickey. But other than that, there's not a lot else we can say that hasn't been done to death. It's a film that's 56 years old. There's not a lot that hasn't been said about it. But other than that, the film was quite good. Everyone did some good performances for, again, minus Barbara, the actress, who was a bit iffy, either unintentionally or intentionally. But yeah, well, you found it really... what's another thing that I wanted to add? You found it really weird because you don't like films that start with 19. You call them old. But this is old, I'll give you that. You didn't expect this film to have so much, like, orchestral music in it. Like a score. Because you were like, what's with all the music?
Because it reminds me of the romance films back then. It would just be like some weird fucking music.
Reminds me of Tom and Jerry, where it was just music.
But saying that, we watch all our films and we'll be like, what the fuck is all this music about?
Yeah. Our grandchildren will be saying the same thing.
Oh, Jesus.
But yes, I do think you'll be alive for that. But yeah, I think that's about it. We'll say our best kills and worst kills. As she mentioned earlier, the best kills could definitely go to Tom and Judy, who died when the truck exploded. Even if it was stupid that they still decided to get in a truck that was on fire. Because, you know, if you've played any game, usually if something's on fire, it's going to explode. For example, shooting them in Call of Duty, the red barrels, they explode. And the worst kill, I think, can easily go to Johnny in the graveyard for bonking his head on a grave, and that's enough to kill him. Because other than that, most of them, even... Well, I would like to say that the others were a bit boring. But, no, I think him bonking his head was dumb.
Not only were they boring, two of them you, like, duped.
Well, they weren't boring. I mean, one of them was a gunshot, but then he gets his arm ripped off by his zombified daughter. And then the zombified daughter proceeds to stab her mother to death. It's famous shit, you've seen it before, it's all over the place. And it's public domain, so even if not, you can go watch it. But I can't be asked to put that in the description, so you can go find that yourself. Just Wikipedia, Night of the Living Dead, and there you go. Even though I had this on DVD, may I add, I didn't know it was public domain. I regret that decision now. But anyway, that about does it. We are doing... film are we doing for Wednesday, babe? Have you yet to decide, or should we spoil it? Are we doing Halloween? Halloween or Chucky? We'll decide tomorrow, because it's not late, but it's getting there. And my health is beginning to play up just a tad, so I will wrap this up. But I do have a very special treat for Halloween itself. Another film that has night in the title, and that I have a tattoo of. Oh, yeah, you're drawing the... Yeah. Right, anyway. Yeah, that was your two brain cells, like, zapping. You're like... Oh! Yeah. She plays Cluedo, by the way, and she's putting that on her channel. I'll give you a free plug. Her detective brain is finally activating. But yeah, we will... Well, this film comes out on Tuesday, so we'll see you on Wednesday. For... And well, we're covering quite a few fucking main horror films.
Yeah, but it's only because it's nice to them.
Yeah, we want to cover the bigger films and then leave comedies and stuff for not.
Just listen here now. If you love cats, we are both done a playthrough of The Hidden Cats in Spooky Town, where you find cats and it's a game about cats.
She did guess cats. But anyway, yeah, we're pumping out some spooky content this last couple of weeks, so...
And I have some spooky book reviews, so if you head over to the channel, you'll find some Halloween editions of spooky books.
Anyway, that saves me asking her, do you want to plug anything? But yeah, her channel alongside all of my links are in the description down below. Thank you ever so much for listening. I've lost where my phone is to stop the recording. I've got it. Thank you very much. So yeah, I'm still doing it. Just trying to fill dead air. Thank you ever so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.